It has been claimed that actress Ashley Brewer is returning with a vengeance to The Bold and the Beautiful, and Ivy Forrester is scheduled to make her return to the show this week. It would appear that Ivy has had plenty of time to think of inventive methods to exact revenge on people who have wronged her in Los Angeles during the time that she has been absent from the city during the past several years. As far as spoilers for Big Brother are concerned, Steffy Forrester, played by Jacqueline McKeenswood, is at the very top of that list. The following is a rundown of what is currently taking place on Bold and the Beautiful. Continue reading for more information. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers focus on the conflict between Ivy Forrester and Steffy Forrester. Steffy Forrester has been so consumed with tormenting Hope Logan, Annika Noel, and arguing with Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, at the Forrester Creations office that she is not prepared for the arrival of Ivy Forrester. Ivy, Steffy's cousin, has been working at the Forrester office in Australia, and when she arrives in Los Angeles, she is serious about her career. According to the sounds of things, she might even be attempting to get Steffy removed from her position as CEO. The conflicts that Ivy and Steffy have had over the years on The Bold and the Beautiful are well known to viewers of the show. The majority of the time, these confrontations have been fought over their shared ex-husband, Liam Spencer, played by Scott Clifton. In reality, Steffy assaulted Ivy and knocked her down a flight of stairs, which came dangerously close to taking her life. In addition, no one will ever forget the humiliating moment when Steffy made Ivy model lingerie against her will. To suggest that Ivy has something to do with her would be an understatement. According to the spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful, Ivy Forrester will be visiting Eric Forrester, John McCook, as her first order of business, and she will be throwing Steffy under the bus. The previews for Bold depict Ivy having a conversation with Eric, during which she tells him that Steffy is essentially bringing Forrester Creations to its knees because she is allowing her personal life to influence the decisions that she makes at work. Could anyone possibly disagree with her? There is never a shortage of drama in the fashion world at Forrester Creations. Nevertheless, as the year 2024 progresses, the stakes are higher than they have ever been. Rivalries within the family that have been going on for a long time, power struggles, and romantic entanglements put together a perfect storm that is about to explode in all directions. The lives of two main characters, Steffy Forrester and Liam Spencer, are about to become wildly out of control as a result of unanticipated betrayals, passions that have been kept secret, and rising pressure from all directions. The silent rebellion of Eric, an example of a mastermind at work. It would be a mistake to undervalue Eric Forrester, the patriarch of the Forrester family. He is much more than that. Over the course of many years, he has served as the glue that has kept Forrester Creations together, successfully managing the fashion business with elegance and sagacity. However, as Eric watches his granddaughter Steffy ascend to the position of CEO, he finds that he is becoming increasingly unsatisfied with the path that the firm is on. In spite of the fact that he gives the impression of being in favor of Steffy, he is deeply concerned that her leadership does not possess the same level of elegance and vision that made Forrester Creations famous in the first place. The belief that Eric has deep inside his heart is that the future of the company lies with him, and more particularly with his own designs. At the end of the day, he was the creative genius who was responsible for the brand's initial triumphs. Eric is determined to make a course correction before it is too late because Steffy, with her daring and contemporary flair, is drifting too far away from the traditional Forrester appearance with her approach. Although he is aware that diminishing Steffy could cause the family to become inseparable, he cannot allow his legacy to be damaged while he does nothing. Taking action behind the scenes, Eric begins to take action. He begins the process of designing a secret Concha collection, which he feels would not only restore the Forrester name to its position as the most prestigious luxury brand in the fashion industry, but will also demonstrate to the board of directors and to Steffy that he is still the driving force behind the firm. Eric makes contact with influential people in the industry and gives them sneak peeks of his new brand in order to lure them in. In a methodical manner, he begins to pull threads, so establishing a scenario in which his collection has the potential to eclipse Steffi's upcoming show, thereby placing her leadership in threat. The struggles of Steffi, a struggle for order and command. Steffi is preoccupied with her own issues, and she is unaware of the silent disobedience that her grandfather is exhibiting. It is taking its toll on her to navigate the day-to-day obligations of Forrester Creations, while also juggling the responsibilities of being a mother and a wife. The marriage between Steffi and Finn has been experiencing difficulties ever since the scandal with Sheila Carter. The fact that Finn is unable to completely separate himself from his biological mother has left Steffi feeling vulnerable, despite the fact that they are working to rebuild trust between them. While all is going on, Steffi is under a tremendous amount of pressure to provide a groundbreaking collection that not only competes with other brands, but also satisfies the board of directors, the press, and the fans. She is well aware that a great number of people, including her brother Thomas, are holding out hope that she will fail. She experiences a growing sense of isolation as a result of the impending pressure to demonstrate her worth. In spite of the fact that she is unaware of the full scope of Eric's ambitions, Steffi begins to observe small changes at Forrester. Key suppliers are suddenly less excited about her designs. Rumors of another project are beginning to emerge in the hallways, and colleagues who were once firmly behind her are beginning to waver in their support for her. At first, she dismisses it as nothing more than the typical expectations that come with being in a leadership position. In spite of this, she is beginning to have suspicions that something or someone might be conspiring against her as the signs get more convincing. When she confronts Eric about the allegations, he acts coy and refuses to divulge his genuine intentions. She is frustrated by his behavior. His evasive comments simply serve to heighten Steffi's suspicions, despite the fact that he insists that he is on her side and has no intention of coming into conflict with her. She is aware, on some level, that Eric is capable of doing actions that could undermine her authority without her even being aware that they are coming around the corner. Will Steffi be able to discover Eric's plans before it is too late? That is the question. The increasing panic of Liam, a man on the judgment line. During the time when Steffi is struggling with conflict within herself at Forrester, her ex-husband, Liam Spencer, is going through his own crisis, and it is all connected to the fact that he still harbors affections for her. In spite of the fact that he is married to Hope Logan, Liam is unable to completely let go of the past, despite the fact that his relationship with Steffi has always been rather problematic. Even though he makes a concerted effort to concentrate on his life with Hope, he is unable to escape the sensation that he is meant to be with Steffi. The connection that he has with Steffi, who is the mother of his daughter Kelly, is profound. When Liam finds out that Steffi's marriage to Finn is in jeopardy, his emotional uncertainty becomes even more intense. In the beginning, he is concerned about her in her role as a co-parent. However, after some time, that concern evolves into something more. Liam is thrown into a whirlwind of contradictory feelings when he considers the possibility that Steffi could be free once more. As time goes on, he starts to have doubts about his dedication to Hope and whether or not he made the right decision when he left Steffi all those years ago. Hope makes an effort to contact Liam about what is going on, but Liam completely ignores her because he is unwilling to acknowledge his increasing love for Steffi. Hope is able to sense Liam's distance from her. As Liam continues to distance himself from Hope, she can't help but become increasingly concerned that he is reverting to his previous behaviors. Liam's worry, however, is not simply about his sentiments. Rather, it is about the decisions he has taken and the risk that he could lose everything if he does not bring his emotions under control. Hope is unaware of this fact. During the time when Liam is struggling with his internal conflict, he discovers that he is pulled to Steffi in an understated way. It is under the premise of co-parenting that he continues to come up with additional excuses to visit her, and the tension that exists between them increases with each time they are together. Due to the fact that Steffi is still intent on preserving her marriage to Finn, she is not entirely aware of what is taking place with Liam. On the other hand, when she does ultimately do it, it can result in a confrontation that has the potential to drive a wedge between both families. The clash between Eric, Steffi, and Liam is brewing like a storm. As the completion of Eric's hidden collection draws closer, the tensions that have been building up between Steffi and Liam also reach a point of no return. Due to the fact that Steffi is attempting to maintain control of Forrester Creations, while simultaneously attempting to save her marriage to Finn, her world is on the verge of disaster. But Steffi is walking a tightrope that is getting increasingly difficult to balance with each passing day. Eric's sabotage is lurking in the shadows, and Liam's mounting panic threatens to disturb her emotional stability. Steffi is in a desperate situation. In the meantime, Eric's intentions to overshadow Steffi's leadership could result in a power struggle that divides family against family, which could potentially leave Forrester Creations in a state of anarchy. The possibility exists that Steffi will be forced out of the firm that she has worked so hard to build, and Eric will be able to recover the throne if his new line of products is successful. In the event that Eric's strategy fails, it has the potential to irreparably harm his connection with his granddaughter, and it might also put Forrester's future in jeopardy. On top of everything, there is Liam, whose emotional turmoil has the potential to start a raging blaze. A confession of his feelings to Steffi might disrupt her efforts to restore her marriage and send shockwaves through his relationship with Hope. Steffi's efforts to save her marriage could be derailed. The delicate equilibrium that exists between these individuals is on the verge of being disrupted, and when it occurs, the repercussions could have a long-lasting impact on the Forrester and Spencer families. As the storm approaches, there will be no one who is spared from its effects. Los Angeles buzzed with the usual air of glamour and scandal that made Forrester Creations the center of fashion and intrigue. Hope Logan and Carter Walton found themselves at a crossroads. Their chemistry had taken everyone by surprise, including them. They had both come out of emotionally complicated relationships. Hope with her tumultuous entanglement with Thomas Forrester, and Carter with his ill-fated romance with Quinn Fuller. Now, in 2024, as they stood face to face in the Forrester executive office, they knew it was time to make some tough decisions and set boundaries. Hope's uncertainty and self-reflection. Hope Logan, always the optimist, was beginning to realize that she had been looking for love and stability in all the wrong places. Her attraction to Thomas had been an emotional whirlwind that left her questioning her moral compass, her judgment, and ultimately, her values. She had allowed herself to fall for the darker, obsessive side of Thomas, despite warning after warning. When their romance finally imploded, Hope found herself at a familiar crossroads, vulnerable, unsure of herself, and ready to rebuild. Carter, on the other hand, had seen it all before. As COO of Forrester Creations, he had watched the relationships within the Forrester family fall apart and come together like the changing of the seasons. His own love life had been equally chaotic, full of high highs and devastating lows. His engagement to Quinn had ended, leaving him emotionally scarred and skeptical of love. Yet here he was, drawn to Hope, who seemed to be an oasis of calm amidst the drama of Los Angeles. The elephant in the room. Hope stared at Carter, her blue eyes full of unspoken questions. They had grown close over the past few months, sharing late-night conversations and quiet moments when the chaos of the day was too much to handle. Carter had been a rock for her, a steady presence she hadn't known she needed. But now, the nature of their relationship had started to shift, and they both knew they needed to address it before it spiraled out of control. Hope shifted nervously in her seat. "Carter, I've been thinking a lot about us," she started, her voice soft but deliberate. He looked at her intently, his dark eyes revealing both curiosity and concern. "I've been thinking about it too," he replied. "We need to be clear on where we stand, for our sake and for the sake of everyone around us." Hope nodded, exhaling deeply. "I've made mistakes before. I rushed into things with Thomas because I was trying to fix something in myself. I don't want to do that again, and I don't want to hurt anyone, Not you, not me, and definitely not my family. Carter appreciated her honesty. He had always admired Hope's commitment to her values, even when she had stumbled. It was one of the reasons he found himself drawn to her. But he also knew that love and relationships in their world were never simple. They came with complications, entanglements, and power plays. I get it, Carter said, his voice steady. We've both been through enough. We've both been hurt, and we can't just dive headfirst into something without being clear about what it means. Setting boundaries. The air between them felt charged with the weight of unspoken words. But both Hope and Carter knew that if they didn't set boundaries now, their budding relationship could unravel into something neither of them could control. Hope broke the silence. I think we should take things slow. I don't want to rush into anything, especially with everything going on at Forrester. And with Thomas. Carter interrupted gently. You don't have to explain. I know your history with Thomas. And I'm not interested in competing with him or anyone else. But we need to be clear about what we want. I can't be in a relationship that's just a rebound. Hope nodded again, her eyes filled with appreciation for his candor. I don't want that either. You deserve more than that, and so do I. But I also need to protect myself and my heart. I need to be sure. Carter leaned forward, his voice softening. We'll take it one step at a time. We'll figure this out together. But we have to be upfront with each other. No games, no secrets. Hope smiled, feeling a sense of relief. Agreed. No games, no secrets. And if at any point this becomes too much, we stop. No one gets hurt. Carter nodded. And we keep our professional lives separate. Whatever happens between us stays between us. Forrester doesn't need more drama, and neither do we. They both chuckled softly at the mention of Forrester drama. After all, they had seen enough to last a lifetime. But their laughter quickly faded as the gravity of their conversation settled over them again. Navigating the future. As they sat in silence, both Hope and Carter realized the enormity of the step they were taking. They were two people carrying emotional baggage from failed relationships, standing at the edge of something that could either heal them or destroy them. The future was uncertain, but for the first time in a long time, they both felt hopeful. Carter stood up and walked over to the window, gazing out at the sprawling city below. We've both been through a lot, he said quietly. But maybe this is our chance to get it right, to do things differently. Hope joined him by the window, her hand brushing lightly against his. Maybe it is, she agreed softly. But whatever happens, we'll do it on our terms. As the sun began to set, casting a warm golden glow over the city, Hope and Carter stood side by side, looking out at the future with a sense of cautious optimism. They had set the rules. Now it was up to them to follow them. Elsewhere in Los Angeles, while Hope and Carter were defining the boundaries of their relationship, the rest of the Forrester clan was navigating its own tangled web of intrigue. Rich Forrester had once again found himself torn between two women, Brooke and Taylor, while Steffi and Finn were still trying to rebuild their marriage after the Sheila Carter debacle. Thomas, ever the wild card, was lurking in the background, his obsession with Hope far from over. Though he had promised to respect her boundaries, his feelings for her still burned brightly, threatening to disrupt whatever peace Hope and Carter were trying to create. The future at Forrester Creations was as unpredictable as ever, but for now, Hope and Carter had taken the first step toward something new. Whether it would last or crumble under the weight of their pasts was a question only time could answer.